Good morning, this is Tom Broderick, Mayor here in Anderson, and I'm out on 18th Street with Todd Fisher, our building commissioner. And Todd, just a week ago, we were out here on the west side tearing down a property about a block or so down the street. And at that time, I know you talked about having two more scheduled in this immediate area. This is one of them, and there's one more that we have yet to do. But tell us about this one behind us.
This one here has been a water problem. Both sides of the foundation have fell out. No one would buy it and put any money into it, so I'm glad to see it go. It's been a problem.
And we've talked before, but we have, in our blight elimination program, sort of generally speaking, there's really three components to it, or three different programs within a program. And right now we're using the blight elimination money that comes from the federal government through the state government down to us. And every year they tell us it's going to be the last year, and they've told us that again, but every year they've extended it. So maybe with COVID and everything, they might again extend it. It'd be great if they do. But tell us how important that particular money has been to the city of Anderson, certainly in the last 4 years.
Well, we've been able to take down multiple houses with that money. Like you said, there's three programs that we're working through, and we're using all three because there's different fits for each property. But all these are voluntary, and it's been great to work with the citizens to be able to get the properties, get them down, and as they say, get them off the tax sale where they just keep selling, and then the people realize, hey, this is too far gone. So
that's one of the big problems you run into. You have a lot of absentee owners of property. They leave the area. The house goes on tax sale, which takes a while to get there, usually 2 years or better. And then somebody buys it, and once they buy it, and then it goes through the process of getting a deed. And then once they get the deed, they realize the property is not worth saving. In fact, when they buy them on tax sale, they're not even allowed to go in and inspect them in the first place, right?
Right. And a lot of times they don't realize what they're looking at pictures on Google from 5 years ago. And a property can change in a year. Like I said, depending on a leaking roof, that can destroy a house in a matter of weeks because it does so much damage.
You might tell people at home, I know we had one the other day where the gutters had come off and so forth, and it caused a lot of damage. Give some folks some tips back home, things they need to do when they do have home repairs. What should they do as far as what are the types of things that can really cause some serious damage fast, like you just explained?
Well, and like this house, keeping your gutters clean and flowing and the water moving away from the house. You know, just because the downspout comes and turns right there at your house, you might want to extend that, because most of the foundation failures become water problems is why they've failed.
So water really is probably one of the worst things, worst culprits, I guess, when it comes to homes.
Right, and keeping vegetation away from your house, you know, at least 4 inches. You just home maintenance is a lot of it. You know, as you're out in your yard, look at your property, make sure your house doesn't have trees growing in the foundation. You know, just keeping that maintenance and clean will make a big difference.
I appreciate that. I know the folks at home will appreciate those tips. On this particular property here, again, this is part of the BEP program, which means that this property will be turned over, already has been turned over actually, to a component of the city, and then we will try to put that in the hands of someone else, maybe an adjoining neighbor. Could be for a neighborhood garden, could be for another construction. Like you pointed out in our earlier conversations, could be for a garage, could be a multitude of things.
Right, you know, you could put up a swing set for your kids. You know, everybody, the land value, you know, that's going to increase your property value because the land is worth something too. They don't make land anymore.
Well, listen, we appreciate everything you're doing. I know we're on track right now to try to get 50 more down not this year total, from January to end rather. And that'll put us at about 250 properties. And so we're excited about that. And we've got a little money tucked away for next year, even if the BP program goes away.
Yeah, we're still working hard to keep it cleaned up. We got a big jump on this. So we want to keep the properties moving and get them fixed up as much as tore down.
And if somebody at home has a property nearby them and they're interested in, I know you've either looked at or inspected almost every property in Anderson, these are distressed, but if they have a property they want to put on your radar in case you haven't seen it, where do they need to call?
They need to call 648-6055. Like I said, we've probably been there, but it doesn't mean we can't check it. Every year I have to realign the demo program to fit what we have out there. On collapsed and burnouts take priority. But we want to get everything cleaned up, and if it's savable, we'll board it up instead of tearing it down.
Well, Todd, we appreciate everything you and your staff do, and I know you're helping to make Anderson a great place to live. So thank you very much, and have a good day.